All right, guys, welcome to another episode of Freedom Homebuyers Podcast. We're missing Jay after the first episode. He said, he's just not there yet, and he doesn't want to partake anymore.
What's up, guys? Here's Jagger, a.k.a. the closer.
And lead manager.
Best lead manager.
All right, I guess I got to clear this up right now on the air. I am not a lead manager. Ronnie actually handles most of the leads that come in.
Is that true? Because I'll pull out the call logs right now.
Oh, shit, we're going live call logs. Look, we've got Rebecca.
Yeah, shout outs to Rebecca, man. All right, so I guess we'll start with what happened this week in Freedom, man.
Ryan, you want to get started there?
Where do you want to go? Yeah. So one closing I postponed the vacation, but one of the three came through. The other ones got pushed back to next week, so I probably could have headed out, but one out of three is good. The other two are set for next.
Okay.
Not bad. And is that one going to be this is a Florida one. Is that one going to be an Airbnb?
That one will be, yeah.
For sure?
Yeah. So that'll be a third Airbnb.
Third one. And second one in Florida, right?
Yep. 2 in Florida. One down the shore. So third Airbnb total. Gotcha. The other one that's supposed to close next week is in Jersey, and then additional one in Tampa.
Got you. Yeah.
And we've been buying them right as well, even though we're looking for Airbnbs for these properties, right?
Say that again.
Like we've been buying right, like meaning like obviously buying as in like we could still flip it if needed, or in the ARV still makes sense for us to renovate it and resell if needed.
Yeah, so we always buy right. So that's the main thing. We always look for value add. We run all numbers with multiple exit strategy. So hypothetically, any type of Airbnb plan we had, it doesn't go as planned. The laws change. Anything, we have an exit strategy of just flipping it, refinancing it, keeping it as a long-term rental. So we always look for at least 2, sometimes 3 exit strategies.
Got you. And some of the exit strategies we use are what? We use wholetailing, wholesaling,
full reno flip,
full reno,
add a
levels, tear down and go and building up, Airbnb, subdividing.
I know we haven't got into like short-term rentals and things like that yet, so that's gonna.
Well, the Airbnbs are technically,
it's exciting that we're getting into that.
Yeah, and that allows us to buy more stuff too, which is, I guess, opens up the door for us on the sales end to kind of have a wider net. Right, that's it, right? Wholetailing, which for those who don't know, by the way, is basically buying it. If we buy it at a good enough number, and like right now, I know, like you guys know, we've been kind of experiencing it. There's basically no properties out there. So it allows us to, maybe offer someone who wants to come in with a 203K loan to buy one of our houses. We're able to buy it, make a little profit, not as much as we would if we fixed it up, but at least we get to get out quick. We just experienced a 203K, right?
On the wholesale side,
right?
We did. So
yeah.
we purchased a property about 3 months ago.
I think so.
And then we put it on the market. Ended up going, a retail buyer picked it up and did a 203K loan to basically do the renovation.
Yeah.
So we had a lot of projects going on. We decided, let's get out of that one. It was a win-win. And yeah, 203K loan. That was the first that we sold it to a 203K loan.
Yeah.
That they wrapped in the renovation.
And Ryan, what would you say is like the drawbacks for a 203K loan? Because I know in the past we usually wouldn't look for it.
Yeah, we always, the FHA 203K, there's always like hoops you got to jump through. So there's an additional inspection on their end. There might be a 90-day period where you can't resell a property. So if you purchase it today, you might have to wait 90 days or so. Sometimes 120, there's different rules, but to resell it like property to an FHA or 203K buyer. So
and that could be an issue for sure, especially for us when we're doing wholesales or just quick flips. So then you have to sit on the property, pay the holding and closing costs because of the type of loan that they got on the
correct.
On the
and then there's additional inspections and all that stuff. You got a 203K contractor, so it's always a riskier resale.
Yeah,
we always try to push it to like conventional, and sometimes it doesn't work for every buyer.
Yeah,
you take a chance going the FHA route or 203K.
So you're saying if you're a really good flipper, you could potentially get penalized for it?
That's
That's crazy. So if you guys are flipping in under 3 months, watch out for those 2 or 3Ks.
Or FHAs.
True.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
just regular FHAs.
Well, that's 203K going to a retail buyer. If you're talking about flipping and then like getting
Yeah.
out and refinancing,
Yeah.
there's even terms with that where you can't even refi sometimes in the seasoning period for 3 months or 6 months on the refi side. So
Yeah.
basically, you can be penalized for being good flippers if you're in and out of a project in a month or two. Sometimes there's certain terms where you have to wait.
Oh, wow. So you got to keep that in consideration. It's not always just about if the numbers make sense and buying right. All
Yeah.
of those things.
And what's a burr?
A burr, buy, renovate, rent, repeat, and refinance.
Don't tell him if he's right or wrong, right?
I'm right.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think he mixed up the steps, but I think
I mixed up the steps, but the B and 5 R's are right there.
And for the record, that property we did the 203K with, for anyone interested in sales, that one was pretty cool because we had that guy under contract for a year because we were able to. Every bunch of people came to him. Remember? Well, no, you didn't get to experience the beginning, right?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah. So he had like 5 dudes come to try to buy that property for more money than what I offered. But after talking to him, he said he needed time to move out and to find another place. So I was like, well, I'm not at the number, at your number, but I'm probably a little less, but I can give you some time to find a new place. And if you find it, and if the price still makes sense, you got a cash buyer and with us. And he said, are you serious? I was like, yeah. And it took a year. So that property was locked up. Remember, it was a summer, and we closed on it the next summer. So it was a year of just like going back and forth with him. And there was a contingency where every quarter we were able to readjust price if need be, like if the market like tanked or something. So it gave us an out, but it allowed him to know he has a buyer, which we came through in, so he was happy. So it worked out. Pretty cool deal.
No, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ronnie, it seemed like it didn't really matter too much about the price as if it really mattered what he actually needed, like from the person buying it.
Yeah. Most of the time we're in sales. You know who else was in sales? Oh, this guy right here.
You got the paper?
No, oh my God, I left it. Yo, you gotta go get it.
I'll be right back, guys.
It's so worth it.
Nah, you guys
We'll take an intermission. We gotta do it, son.
It is what it is. Did I shred it?
Nope.
You should get this notarized.
We're gonna get this notarized. Yeah, before we get into shenanigans. So most of the time it's not about what, like, most of the time the price isn't as relevant. If the price is super relevant, then most of the time they're gonna list it. If they're in hard times or something, like they don't go to their house and bash them. Like, this guy, the house needed work. He knew that. Like, he was just looking for a fair deal. He understood who I was, that we were looking to make a profit, but he just wanted somebody who can wait for him, right? Because he didn't have the funds in his bank account to show proof of funds for his next house. So his proof of funds was actually us. So the agent called us to make sure that we were actually going to buy it if he were to put in an offer on the next house.
And Ronnie, real quick, did you like sell him your features and benefits on like what you can do first?
Always sells your feature and benefits.
Wow, this guy.
Nah, never do that. It's not about you. No one, they don't care about you.
So you kind of like asked him questions, and that's how you found that stuff out? Because I know some of that stuff could be like personal.
Yeah, and if you need questions to ask, we're gonna pull out. I found this, guys. I wanted to make sure you guys see this. This was Ryan's script when he first started out.
AKA cheat sheet.
How did you hear about us?
So hang on, Ryan. So like, what was going through your mind when you were writing this down? Like, where were you with the company? Like, what was going on?
Yeah, I gotta know.
It's a valid question. That was from the beginning. So, I guess basically how the company started was the end of 2017.
Yeah.
Left my job, flipped the house, and after that first house flip in 2018, the beginning of 2018, I started obviously Freedom.
Did you quit before the flip or after the flip?
Before the flip.
This guy.
This guy's crazy.
So I left before the flip that summer. Bought a house in August and then flipped it. And then beginning of 2018, started the company, and that was the original guess, sheet that I put together where incoming calls were coming in, and we started driving for dollars and started mailing all the stuff. And
So that's for when like someone called you and you picked up the phone.
correct.
Yeah.
Beginning.
Ronnie, you want to like read off some of those?
100%. By the end of this, all questions will be. So yeah, just to chime in, how much do you owe? Right, that makes sense. Nowadays, me and Jagger like to make statements, but yeah, any back taxes, right? You want to know for any deal killers?
You can find that out with the title search.
What condition is the property in? Super
Roast?
That's
Is
a
this
fair
roast?
question.
This is a roast.
It just kind of happened. It's organic. It's an organic podcast, so we just got here,
Set up.
Status of title, that's fair. Maybe in the title search, but whatever. Is this the best number I can reach you at? There it is.
Disconnected.
Just in case, you never know. This is actually a super good question. What is your plan if the house doesn't sell? That's a good question.
You guys asked that?
That's by far your best question here. Is the property occupied? Who lives there? A bunch of deal killers. All in all, this by far was the best question. What happens if you don't sell?
And even then, like you had the basis of what you needed to make a deal happen, and that's like the cool part. Like even from day one, you didn't have a process, you didn't have a team, you didn't have anything. You just knew what you needed to know to kind of make a deal happen. And it's cool to see the fruition of now me and Ronnie kind of taking over the sales and just seeing how you based it off of, and then now how we have like the 3-call system in a sense.
Yeah.
So it's fun.
It just shows growth. That's why we can make fun of it now. If he was still like using this and it was still doing the same,
it'd
now
be
I'm
in his
like,
binder.
it's not funny anymore because this is like, we can't bash it.
I used it last night.
Yeah, legit.
So I guess speaking of deals, you guys, anything new going on this week that interesting to talk about?
What we got in the pipeline. So we closed on the Florida one. We already spoke about that. What else we got? Oh yeah, cheers to that too.
Yeah, cheers.
Cheers to a closing.
Yeah, for sure.
So Ryan's the one who deals with all the closing and getting the headaches ready to kind of make the deal actually happen.
Yeah, and loves to forget to tell us when something closed.
It's true.
We just got to read it in our Slack channel.
Told you. Play the game.
That's it.
Got to keep it interesting, but yeah. Other deals, yeah. So the other two, and obviously the other one in Florida will be in next week.
And that's another Airbnb.
That'll be a long term rental, straight rental.
Gotcha.
Okay.
The Rahway one will be a flip out in New Jersey, and then that 4-family that we still have on the contract.
That one's super
Supposed
interesting.
to close mid to late January.
Got you.
Yeah, it was fun that we all touched that deal in like a different way, which was fun.
So Jay actually found it, right? And Jay, as you guys know, you won't be seeing him again. Like I said, sucks, but he doesn't want to hop in anymore. But yeah, so Jay found it, right? He threw it on our Slack channel, and then you ignored it.
Yeah, I ignored it. I put the thumbs down to it.
Nah, we both ignored it. And then I don't know how it started again.
So
Do you
then
remember?
he reached out again and he was like, "Hey, did you guys get a chance to look at this property?"
That's
and he
what
sent us one before that was a dud, so that's probably why we ignored it.
Reputation.
But
Reputation's important.
But then we looked at it. I ran the analysis with you, and then we reached out to the agent. I started the conversations with the agent, and then that's where Ronnie took over. I set the appointment. Ronnie went to the appointment, walked through the property, and then from there.
Yeah, so then from there, then we bought it back, came back to the office, then we all kind of spoke about it. This one's a little odd. Normally, this might be our first like on market, right?
It will be.
It will be our first. So yeah, all of our deals are off market. So this was like a little odd, but it just so happened to make sense. Not the best deal, right? We can all agree. But a solid deal, especially since most of our rentals are, all of our New Jersey rentals are in Rahway, right? For now.
Then we have Elizabeth, Westfield.
Yeah. But for now, as of now, yeah. So, it made sense. And then the shenanigans started. So then we were like, let's put in an offer, at asking.
No, like a little under asking.
Yeah, pretty much at asking. Yeah,
it was pretty much. It was a
almost.
contingent. There was like a credit that was going to be given and all that.
I think we offered, maybe like 20K under asking, and then they went back up to like 10K, but right around asking.
Yeah. And then the shenanigans started.
Yeah, so that's been a few weeks of like a bumpy road there. The appraisal came in under under what it, I guess we think it should be. They think it should be, so they weren't happy with the appraisal. Neither were we. We tried to fight it. They weren't budgeting there, so we ended up getting another lender to step in, and they also agreed on a price reduction because I don't think either way at asking it's going to sell. No appraiser is going to come in at asking.
That number,
so someone has to. We either have to come to the table with additional money, or they have to come down. Otherwise, or figure some seller finance option out. Which we're open to. But but I think they came down a little bit, and I think we have another lender that's going to get the appraisal, where it should be.
Exactly, yeah.
And the deal looks like it'll go through.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind with this one is this is a 4-family. So even though it sounds commercial, which is frustrating, it's not. So with that being said, it's going to be comped residential, which means it's going to be comped on like comparables. That's the crappy part because like here where we're at, there's not a lot of 4-family that have sold. So everybody knows, I'm pretty sure including the appraiser, like that technically it should be worth more than what the appraisal came in at, but there's nothing to compare it to. So I feel like we can't even knock the appraiser for, because like there's nothing to base it off of, so you kind of have to base it off of like 2 or 3 families, I guess, at that point. It sucks because as a cap rate, it's like solid.
Yeah, if you're looking at it from a cap rate, NOI, like all that stuff, it makes sense.
Yeah.
You're going to get the rent roll up. So you look at it as a syndication or a mini commercial deal, it works.
Yeah.
But from anything under 4-family or below is ran at residential comps. So it's that game. It's not how much the property's bringing in minus expenses. It's how much did the next property sell for. And if there's no comps to support it, which is in this area, there are none.
Yeah.
You run into that issue of who's going to be the pioneer of
who's going to be right or wrong.
Yeah, who's going to be pioneer or who's going to overpay, and then everyone else could piggyback off that. But that's the issue with that.
But that was a fun one, especially kind of like just seeing what the cash flow from the rent could be. Ronnie's dealing with the tenants and like going through that process, and then just like figuring out a way to actually get this done because this is a problem for everybody. I feel like in the area that's trying to buy a 4-family right now. That there's nothing.
I think anywhere. There's not a lot of 4-families in general. I mean, let me speak for in Jersey, in where we're at, kind of, I guess, like, what's this, like, I guess, where are we? Central Jersey. Yeah, I guess in Central Jersey, like, that's not, like, a thing, like, finding casual 4-families everywhere. I could be wrong, and I'm sure someone will tell me if I am. But, it's just it's just a thing that everyone's dealing with. Another interesting thing with this one is that it's fully tenant occupied. So that's like another thing that has to be addressed as well. So for sure, the first step is always like get to know who's living there. You know what I'm saying? Like,
go talk to them a little bit.
Yeah, talk to them. Like you got an appraisal scheduled. Yeah, say hi, jump in. Like, hey, how's it going, guys? Like, see how they live, see what's going on.
So you're not going with the tool belt, like going in, breaking everything, ready to go.
Nah, right? These are people's homes, right? So, you don't want to start a relationship with them. You want to hope that they're reasonable. You want to hope you can work with them. You want to hope you can keep them, right? Like, you want to figure out a plan to keep them if they're great tenants because they're so hard to find. So, yeah. Definitely don't want to go in there like I'm buying this, y'all better get out. Good luck, especially in these times and especially like here in Jersey, right? So you gotta definitely play your cards right, play them correct. So far, this is wood, right? Knock on wood. We've been good. But yeah, definitely something to consider.
Yeah, if that property was a fun one. The ups and downs, thinking we didn't have it, and now coming back to the table, finding a new way to potentially get it done.
That's big,
exciting.
Man. Yeah.
Especially during a time right now that little segue of like, I don't know if anybody else is going through it right now, but with the holidays coming up, me and Ronnie in the sales role, it's tough, not if someone wants to sell their house right now, they're probably seriously motivated because who would really want to have to go through this process during Christmas and New Year's? So we haven't gotten in touch with a lot of people, but the few people we're talking to are pretty motivated. So I feel like, during the holidays, I don't know, Ryan, if you experienced it over the last couple of years, but like I feel like a lot of people obviously aren't doing as much as they would be.
No, I agree. Usually at the end of the year, people shut down. Businesses shut down. People hang out with their families and stuff. But
dumpster companies shut down.
They did send us brownies, though.
They did, and I eat one per day, for sure.
Those are good. But, a lot of people shut down. But the people who do call, if there's in this in that time, may be crazy motivated because for you to call around a holiday, there's always a reason why. So take the good with the bad.
No, for sure. Yeah, my experience too. This is I think this would be my third winter, I guess, or fourth winter with you guys. Yeah, it's been that. It's either like they call the at a level that we're doing. They called around this time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
Yeah, it was around this time.
Yeah, roughly the same time.
It was at 9:40. Somebody was calling, and I was like, well. Either this guy's calling because someone's calling drunk and like, who the hell is this person? Or they're ready to go.
Yeah.
And that guy was ready to go.
9:40 p.m.
Yeah, that was 9:40 p.m.
Yeah, those are the one of two things.
Yeah.
They're ready to go, or they're not ready
They're
at all.
super pissed. They got bad news and they got to let it out on somebody. And that's okay too.
Ready to go, ready to fight.
Yeah.
Now, I remember when I started, it's pretty much a little bit over a year now. It's like, I think it was December or around there when I kind of jumped on board last year.
Yeah.
And, I remember didn't know what to expect, going on a couple appointments with Ronnie, and this guy's closing like 3 or 4 deals that like week. So I thought that was pretty normal from watching him, but he was like, yo, this does not happen, especially during the holidays. You could probably explain better than me with those situations, but they just seemed like very motivated sellers that were ready to get out of their situation right then and there.
Yeah, for sure. For every one of those deals, there was hundreds of calls that were made to get to that, like one motivated lead, right? But it's not fun to talk about those things. The grind is funner to talk about the other things. Before you started with us, how did you get to that point where you want to join real estate? Because we know about you starting in January, but how did it get to you kind of joining like a...
So, great question. So
Yeah.
during COVID, I ended up quitting my job, had a corporate job, I wouldn't say 9 to 5, I'd say like 7 to 7, like it was a lot of hours, a lot of work. I was in business and sales. And I thought that's what I wanted to do. And then ended up COVID happening, ended up quitting my job and had some time off to reflect. And that's when I realized like, what do I want to do? I love speaking to people. I love, sales, but maybe it's time for a change. No one was really hiring at the time during COVID. So my dad's into real estate. He owns a few properties in Florida. So he was always talking real estate about me over the last couple of years, and it always interested me. But I just didn't know where to like begin, if I was going to be an agent, how to get into real estate. So then I started taking my New York State real estate course just to kind of learn a little bit about real estate, see what I could find out, and potentially do rentals and listings on the side until I figure out exactly what I wanted to do in real estate. But I just was excited about the option of like being in a different industry, something that everybody talks long-term about, that you can really create wealth through it. So, and you don't have to have a 9 to 5. So all those things interested me, but I didn't know how to get in. So then started doing my real estate course. One thing led to another. My girlfriend Veronica's brother actually went to school with Ryan, and I knew that.
Shout out to Boots.
Shout out to Boots. There he is.
Shout outs to Boots.
And he pretty much told Veronica and me about like his friend having this business in real estate. He knew I was taking the course, and then maybe he could just set up a conversation, to kind of just introduce me. And I was like super excited. I was like, oh, this is cool. I don't know what these guys do, but like, let me get in the same room as them because they're in real estate. And then that's when me and Ryan hopped on a call, told me a little bit about what they do. And actually back then they were looking for like someone to help with the project management stuff. And I thought I was all in. I was like, yeah, like my dad did construction, I could learn it. Like, whatever I could get my foot in the door, I'm interested. Then I met with the guys, and it was weird because it wasn't like any normal interview. You guys are in like hoodies and jeans and like hanging out. And I'm like, what's going on? Like, this is weird. But then it really...
we weren't wearing suits.
Nah, no suits around here. So it really interested me that like once we started talking, it wasn't like an interview, it was just a conversation. And then Michael actually pointed out like, Jack, you're not really geared towards construction and project management from, just speaking to me. So they started talking about like sales, like, would you be interested in, talking to people, this and that. One thing led to the other. And then shortly after, I ended up getting a shot with you guys as helping out the sales team, and then, took off since then.
Boom. There it is.
There it is.
Yes.
But all seriousness, it's been a fun run, and it's really cool to just see like when these guys say they want to do something, just like going out and doing it. That was probably my biggest like intrigue from being here. Like Ryan's like, oh, we might think about Florida. Then like 3 months later, we're marketing in Florida. Me and Ronnie are talking to sellers in Florida, and then we ended up buying a few properties already there. Now it's the Airbnb route. So it's just cool to see once someone says they're about to do something, seeing these guys go out and do it.
Yeah, theory and practice are right. A lot of people stay at theory, never actually get practical. But you know who did get practical?
Who?
Ryan did when he came up with this.
Practice.
How old is the property?
Wow.
Still going with this?
Yeah.
So the age of the home. It's key.
Super important.
That time was.
You know who should be asking this question more than Ryan? Jay.
Yeah.
I think he might.
Let me see what else.
And I also think it'd take offense to the Fulton property.
Yeah.
You said you sent them another one before that, and you guys are
We definitely ignored it. We definitely ignored it.
was no good,
It was a
and then you
dirtbag
got that one?
move.
Yeah, it was.
so now he has to go into acquisitions.
That's it.
This is not respected.
Talking about acquisitions.
What's going on?
This is by far, I missed this question.
What is it? Let's hear it.
Jagger. What is the lowest price you would accept? What have we been doing this whole time?
Yeah, if I do that, I might just start walking into every appointment like, listen, what's the least you're going to take? We'll walk away right now and just get it done. Unfortunately, most people don't want to work with
cheat
us
sheet.
like that. There it is.
You guys have homework.
I got to bash you, bro.
That's it.
How did you start?
How did I start?
Before, like, how did you get to a point where you were like, you know what, I'm going to quit my job? Something must have happened.
It really didn't. That's the crazy part. I was in the Department of Ed, obviously, as you guys know, and I was supposed to get it on the fire department in New York. My father, brother, both firemen. Father retired a few years back, but I got called for the fire department, passed everything, the physical, all the tests, and based on like the Social Security number, I didn't get on. It was a whole like lawsuit. I don't know what happened with that. Looking back, it was a blessing. And that got me into, I didn't have a plan to stay in the Department of Ed full time. So I was like, what's next? Like, I'm not getting on. What am I doing? And then I had my brother's friend like, hey, you want to flip this house with me? We went in like on the construction side. Like, yeah, I'm in. I'll figure it out. And then right after that first renovation, I looked at like, oh, this is interesting. Let me flip one on my own. And then that first flip started the company, and there's the first sheet of the.
Wait. So there wasn't like this aha.
I wish I had a better story.
Oh my god!
all I got.
I feel like that's like a great story. Like there wasn't like it was just like yo like
You just fell into it.
Yeah. And looking back, like I said, it was like a blessing because now it's all I do. I mean, we do. Like,
all we do,
all we
yeah.
talk about. I feel like it's not a job. We love it. It's not a job. We're hitting up different states, buying everywhere. It's fun.
Yeah, like next month or in a couple weeks, we might have to do a work trip to Florida.
I love it. Nah, it's really cool to see the lifestyle. Like I know Ryan always preaches like, lifestyle. Like if you like it, go do it. And if you don't, let's find ways of not doing it. And I feel like in a lot of jobs, you don't have that option. So it's really cool to be a part of that.
I think big picture, that's what it's about. If you're not happy where you are, make a change. And if I feel like real estate gave me that change, it gave me I could do this. I mean, granted, we work, I feel like all the time, like in a way work, like it's.
Yeah, you're
there
going to
is no
stop your
work.
vacation. You're going to go on like a week vacation.
Yeah. But the flexibility of now I could be in Florida next month. I could be in Utah in the end of January. So there's no 9 to 5. So if something happens, then you got to be there. But it's when you don't think of it as work, I feel like you can't put a price on that. And that's what, like I say, I don't like real estate. I love real estate.
Yeah.
No, yeah, quick funny story. Like when I started, I'd be at the office with the guys, and it'd be like 3, 4 o'clock. Like Ronnie's just leaving, middle of the day. Ryan's like not even there, and I'm like, yo, like how long do I stay here for? Like like what do I do? Like I'm traded. I'm going over the material I need. Like Michael's working 24/7. He's the marketing guy who just does everything. And I'm just sitting here like 3, 4 o'clock. Ryan's like, yeah, you can leave whenever you want. And I'm like, is this a test? Like I can stay here all day, So like it's just funny to see the full circle of now like I have my schedule. Like I could work 10 hours one day, 4 hours the next, take a week off. Ryan's like, okay, cool. It's just, us getting deals, and, everybody has their, like, I like that everybody has their department in this freedom world. Like, so that's definitely a big takeaway for me.
Yeah, that's all it is. Like, I guess as long as you can hold yourself accountable, there's no one watching over you. Like, yeah, it's like how many deals you got this month? Yeah, like go to every Yankee game possible.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't care. Like, it's you. That's why we're called freedom, right? Like, that's the idea behind it. And for work wise, like, it never felt like work. Like, we've all experienced work.
Yeah. So Ronnie, sorry, Ryan, what were you saying?
No, I was saying it's funny seeing him come from like that corporate side of like, wait, there's no schedule, and I felt like it took you months to like be like.
Be okay with it.
Yeah, like, what's going on here?
It's an
like,
adjustment. It's an adjustment.
But once you shift your mindset, I feel like, and you're out of that, and you create your own, schedule and mindset.
I can't even imagine it being the other way now. Like,
right?
I'm so used to my schedule, my work ethic. Like, something came up, I had to stay home yesterday. Just texted Ronnie, as my partner, like, hey, I'm not around. Like, take these leads coming in, and it's not like a problem. Like, and that's the cool part. Like just get your job done, and then you could do whatever else.
Do what you got to do. Like, that's it.
It's hard to go back.
Yeah,
I always I've been having nightmares about that.
So, Ronnie, how'd you get started?
For me, it was a cool story because I'm biased. I used to work for the Department of Transportation, also in New York City. And then I guess my parents came from like the Caribbean, so like they came here and they were like, "Yo, just get a steady job, get a 401k, get a pension," and that's it. Like that's the pinnacle. And then I eventually I was like 25, 26, I think, and I got it. And then I'm here, and I'm like, oh, this is it. And I was like, and then you do 30 years of this, and then you're like, what, like in your 60s, and then you leave, and then you enjoy your life. And I'm like, nah.
Yeah, not saying anybody who's doing that. That's
great.
Yeah, just not for Ronnie.
Yeah, it's just not for me. Like, by all means, all my friends do it, and some of them love what they do, and they need that. But that's just not for me. I wasn't not that guy. So then I started dabbling. My cousin, shout out to my cousin Adrian, he came to my house one day and he was like, "Yo, you want to like invest in something or like start learning how to?" And I was like, "Yes." I was going through I was playing PlayStation. I was exhausted from work. I was like, "This can't be it." And then he came, he was like, "You want to figure something out?" And I was like, "Yes."
Was he in investing like already?
He was kind of like dabbling already, like kind of like just, and not even in real estate, just like in stocks and even crypto, like early crypto. And me and him, he started exposing me. He gave me like Rich Dad Poor Dad. And then they told me about Bigger Pockets, and that changed the game for me. Like once I had then I started like investing in like stocks and like crypto, and then I made a little bit of money, chump change. But I was like, oh, like this wasn't because I'm good, it's because I'm lucky. So then I started figuring out like maybe there should be something more secure for me that like still gives me what I want. And then I found Bigger Pockets, and like Brandon Turner in his early episodes would just nonstop be like, hey, if there isn't a meetup around you, just start your own meetup. So at the time, me and Amaris wanted to house hack because that's the easiest way. If you guys don't know what house hacking is, that's the easiest way to get in. So we were looking to house hack in Staten Island. So I started a meetup in Staten Island, and like two people showed up, right? It was you and John. Yeah. So that's how I met Ryan.
That's hysterical.
Crazy, right? Two people showed up. John was cool people.
At the bar, right?
At the bar, yeah. And that whatever that street was. But yeah.
Highland Boulevard.
On Highland Boulevard, yeah.
That's awesome. And then from there you guys just hit it off?
Yeah, well, we hit it off, but it wasn't like we ever like it took years, like a year or two, to even like dabble in potentially like me joining like Freedom. I just remember Michael. I know Michael was planting the seed. I didn't even see it coming. Because I was going to like what used to be our office, which was just a bedroom. Remember?
Yeah, the 2-family house.
Yeah. I was just going because I was doing like same thing as you. I just wanted to soak as much as I could in. I wanted to be in the room with these guys, and that's when we had the little, like I said, the little board with like 4 squares of deals, and just Michael fucking just selling me. Now thinking about it, like he was selling me heavy, like like testing me, like, "Oh, Ronnie, take this test." I was like, "Okay," and he was like, "Oh, okay. And then like, boom, he hit me with Ryan and him. Like, what if you joined it? Like, what if like you leave that life that you complain about? Like, you tell us that you don't like it. And I was like, spoke to like a Maris, and I was like, yo, she's like, do it. And I was like, all right, YOLO.
Just do it.
I just did it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's cool. It's been cool, man.
How did Amaris take it when you first told her?
She knew who I was. She's known me for a while, so she knew that I was, I don't want to say impulsive. I like to think about everything I'm gonna do, but like I try not to. I try to look at things objectively. So like I try to remove my emotions as much as I can, and I'm like, okay, this is DOT. Like there was the lady that sat across from me in DOT. She had 10 years left till retirement, and she started marking X's on her calendar. I'm like, this can't be life. Like you're just counting down the days till you're 65. I was like, like I said, no knock to anyone. I'm not knocking anybody, but it just wasn't for me. I'm like, nah, I can't do that. I'm not even making that much money. Like I don't even know if I could retire at 65 doing this. Like, so yeah, that's all I needed, man. It was wild, just wild, man.
That was a great story.
Thank you. See, a little bit of, a little bit of pizzazz.
There it is.
Mine was a little more bland.
Yeah.
What else we got here?
What else we got? The over and unders.
That's a good one.
The over and unders. Yeah, so okay, over and unders. So the first one was that me and Jagger will get Ryan on our YouTube channel. We won that one. Hands down.
Hands down.
Yeah.
So before we get into it, we have over-unders, guys, and that's pretty much just like an over-under bet we put on our whiteboard of just like how long until we'll be able to get something done. It's just pretty much a way for us to just get things done in the office, and it's like a fun game we play to do so. So in case you guys didn't know what we were talking about.
Yeah, and it's definitely funner when you win.
Of course. And Ryan usually loses, so it works out great.
Yeah. One of the best ones is, we got him to the YouTube video. That was easy. Sales with Jay and Ron. The other thing was, what are the other ones?
The other one is 60 days from when we started the bet that Ryan would get a sign up in front of the office. And if you guys drive by our office right now,
you won't see it.
There isn't a sign, so I'm gonna go with over on that one.
No one knows where.
I got 7 days, and Seth's coming tomorrow to install it. So
we'll see.
That's a W.
And guys, this is being recorded. What is this?
30th.
The 30th, as in January 30th. As in tomorrow, Seth is gonna come on New Year's Eve to install a sign.
We'll see.
Doubt it.
And then we have an easy lock that Freedom would get an Airbnb up and running in 18 months or less from when we made the bet.
I said a luxury Airbnb.
Luxury Airbnb
is subjective.
So, guys, just to let you know, the 2 properties we got going on in Florida right now, after we renovate them, I think, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, they're going to be luxury Airbnbs.
That's subjective. So
that's subjective.
Let's let them win on this one.
Okay.
But 18 months to get a luxury Airbnb, I think it's an automatic lock.
It's a lock.
But
there it is.
We'll see.
I'll do a sneak peek at a goal round 2.
Okay.
Oh yeah, please.
Luxury Airbnb in 2022 is on the board.
Ooh.
Sneak peek.
And I'll define luxury as, like, I would say anywhere from 1 to 1.5 mil, maybe waterfront. Maybe Florida, maybe Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Maybe out west. That's TBD.
So Ryan just hit us with a goal we weren't even aware of until right now.
Ooh, that's
Like that closing.
exciting.
That's it.
Ooh, I didn't know that. You just had that.
You see, guys, right on air, we get these crazy goals that are coming out of nowhere.
That's exciting. Okay. I definitely got to test that one out first, right? It's only fair.
I think so.
I got to test out Seaside. Had a good time.
Check it out.
Yeah, that was fun. Any other over and unders? No, right? That we would get 1,000 views in our YouTube channel. And we have, I think, 2 more months to get that done.
Yeah,
shouldn't be a problem. And then what else? I think that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. You guys got anything else you want to address? Talk about?
No, I'm all good over here.
All right, fuck it. Then
That's an episode.
wrap it up.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed listening to another episode of Freedom Podcast.
Yes. And
check us out.
yeah, definitely show us some love. Make sure to definitely like us, comment us, show us some love to help us grow. But besides that, freedom out, right?
Yeah, that's it.
All right, guys. Cheers. Happy New Year's, guys.
Yeah, catch you guys next time.